So the funny thing about the previous chapter after my prediction video is I didn't really know which fight was going to be first, just because like we had focus on each other. Like the only one you could kind of guess was maybe Lucy's, because Lucy's was the only one that she was alone, and her opponent at least seems the weakest because there's also a little bit of goofiness with her. But we ended up actually getting each of them in fragments, and it's not like that's uncommon. It's rare that that happens. Like that's just something that I didn't think was gonna happen in this sense. In this scenario, like these guys are more powerful than I think a lot of people guessed, because they are Selene minions. Because the main cast is still really powerful in like the comparison of their overall world. Like there's not a lot of characters more powerful than the main cast anymore. But that's because they're so far in their game, and we only have big people left. This isn't like some random guild who's got like one S-class ace or something. It's like, no, like the main cast are all really powerful. Like they're like, when it comes to like Lucy in terms of like a fight, like there's a fair amount more people more powerful than her, but she's not a high combat based person. She's like, when it comes to her fights, she's more of like her utility and intelligence rather than just raw firepower, durability, and whatnot. But in these fights, I did my prediction, and I was just talking about each one. It was like, I'm not 100% sure which one we're really going to see first, and then we end up getting a bit of all of them. So I'm guessing we're going to see probably that again. And like I said, these opponents aren't. These are the first guys we're seeing Elentier. Other than Hakune, like she's the only one I'm guessing we're gonna see more of, just because I've mentioned I think her title involving the moon is a bit like extra hype, because you know Selene's whole character is, you know, moon dragon god. So I would assume somebody carrying the same, like a piece on their title that can directly associate with Selene would mean that they're more powerful than like probably the other ones. Like Mimi's the immovable, and Yoko is the, you know, the night parade of honor demons or whatever, is the pandemonium. But right now, I'd say I really want in the next chapter to like have an understanding of what each of their abilities are, because we don't have that yet. The closest is Yoko. Like we know Yoko is a summoner, and she seems to have a bunch of demons. Like, but they're not really demons. They're yokai, and they're part of spiritual arts. It's kind of like they're Japanese. I was gonna say they're like Japanese demons, but I forgot yokai are more like spirits. So it makes more sense also with the spiritual arts. So I can kind of skip over me trying to like work my way around that, because it actually makes way more sense when you just kind of like jump on it that way. But for all of them right now, I would just like to see an explanation of their powers. I really want to just get like, oh, well, this is like how this is like Yoko's power. This is how Mimi's power works. This is how, you know, Akune's power, kind of just everything that just is basic details of what they do. I don't need all of their abilities. I would like just to have an understanding of what they do. Because like Hakune's, as I've said, I'm super curious of what Mishima's doing with her, considering she's using ice against literally the worst two people probably to use ice on in the whole series. Like the only character I'd say like you probably wouldn't want to use ice more on is Ignia. Like Natsu and Gray are both extremely powerful. Both of them, you know, can deal with ice people really well, and like they're against somebody that, as I've said, we don't know much about. But the thing about these people that a lot of people just brushed over when it came to like the end of the last chapter, because I don't think Urza and Wendy are down and they're like fully done for the fight. I think they just got knocked down, and you know, it just ended with them on the ground. They're gonna get back up. You know, it's just one of those end chapter shock moments, but it's like, oh, it'll be fine. Like they're just down temporarily. If Yoko said that she was gonna capture them and take them somewhere, I'd say like, oh, they're in trouble. But she said that she was going to feed them to her yokai, so there's no way that they're just gonna get eaten. They're gonna get back up. But for Mimi, I really am hoping Mimi's power is more than just, oh yeah, Mimi can, you know, Mimi's just really physically strong. That'll be boring, because as I've said, these guys aren't just random people. These are people directly under a dragon god, and this is a brand new power we have right now. Like the spiritual is a brand new whole branch of abilities. because we've had magic, obviously the whole series. We got curses. We've had a couple very like different things like dragon power, technology and stuff. But we just got spiritual arts as something completely unrelated and with its own energy source. Oh, a hiccup right there. With Spiriomb, but I really need to get like an idea of just the scope of things right now, because we're still, again, very early in the arc. We just got there where we don't even know all of the main cast, like what their new kind of perks in Elentier are. We've only really seen kind of like a somewhat of like Lucy's, and then Wendy getting, you know, a little bit better enchanting and understanding what Spirior is and stuff. But I want to see what Grey Natsu have. I want to see what Urza has, because that was one of the reasons a lot of people also didn't think that these guys were going to be that powerful. Is the main cast just in Elentier have default boosts, but so far it's been kind of like after the second origin where they don't really know how powerful they are right now. They don't really know the full extent of what that boost has given them. So it's like, oh, well, they're probably going to figure out in this fight, which I still think is going to happen. But these guys definitely are putting up a way better fight than I thought possible. Like, Mimi's is going about where I thought, but Yoko is definitely outperforming where I thought she was going to be. Like, I thought she was going to be pretty easily defeated by Urza and Wendy, but again, it makes sense why she's powerful. Is she's tied to Selene, because the thing about the God Seeds that definitely were a crutch on the God Seeds is they didn't really fight beforehand. They weren't fighters. They were fighters. They didn't have experience fighting because it was the first time they got up. Like, they had been under their they had been sleeping this whole time. Like, the entire time they were just, you know, waiting for the Lacrimas to be destroyed, and now it's the case. So what is exactly going to be the full-scale difference when we see like a Dragon God minion like fully ready to fight, fully ready just to do whatever, you know, that they're ready to kind of combat their opponents? Because I really want to see, like, again, what these guys are all fully capable of, just in the extent of their position and role. But also I want to see spirit, like the spirit arts and everything like this with this brand new power. So I'm really hyped for this next chapter. I really want to see just in general, like, the explanation of like what these characters' powers do and how this is going to affect like the arc. Like, again, main cast getting an understanding of their buffs, of like the boosts that they get in Elentier. Maybe see another member of the Moonlit Beauty Gods. Like, maybe there's like a statement of like, oh, there's 9 of them or something, or just like a general idea of what we're working with. That stuff like that is definitely where I'm putting my what is it? Putting all your eggs in one basket kind of thing. That's where my hype is. That's where I want to put all of my hopes for Mishima, like Hakune especially. Like, I really want to see like what the deal is up with her, because if she had any other element, or like, I'd be like, okay, if she had like, probably other than fire, like she had something that wasn't like super countered by Natsu and Grey, I'd be like, okay, she's gonna be like the same kind of like tier of fight. But she's at such a disadvantage that she has to outperform massively. Like, she has to be really broken with her powers in order to best Natsu and Grey. It's not even just to best them, just to put up a really good fight, because again, these guys both counter her on 2 different fronts. So I had to type something out real quick. So anyway, other than that, comment below, like, give me your opinions on what's to come and what you really want to see in this art. Like, in the next chapter, what would you most want to see? Do you want a focused fight? Do you want maybe kind of just like another half setup, half information chapter before that? Because I'm perfectly fine if we do a focused fight next chapter, or if we kind of do the same thing that we did previously, where it's cut up between the characters and we end up just getting like the general layout of things, just to another degree. Like, we end up getting, oh, well, this is how this power works, this is how this power works, this is the difference between spiritual arts and everything, kind of like just all of those general basic things. Because the difference between this, like I said, and like any other opening fight, is this is like, we have a brand new whole power system we have to look at. So hype for that, hype to see where this goes. Can't wait to see exactly what Mishima has plans for all these characters. And man, I'm really, out of them also, I'm just really hoping Mimi's power isn't lame. So give her something cooler than just being strong. I'm hoping she has like some cool form of cool spatial power that Lucy could overcome and like show like that she's way more broken and like high potential than she thinks. But anyway, other than that, I'll comment below, thumbs up the video, befriend the like button, subscribe button, and check out my other videos. But other than that, I appreciate everyone who's already subscribed. Thank you all for listening. Bye.